Good morning. Welcome to the Fallbrook School of the Arts. We're very, very glad to have you here with us. I'm going to give you a tour of our amazing facility, which used to be a train depot and an avocado plant many years ago.
Of course it was an avocado plant.
Of course it was. We are the avocado capital of the world.
Thank you. You pulled the words right out.
Absolutely. So we are part of an organization, nonprofit called Fallbrook Arts Incorporated. It's 3 other organizations are attached to us. We're sister organizations. Fallbrook School of the Arts, Fallbrook Arts Center, and Fallbrook Art in Public Places.
And who are you, Miss?
My name is Christine Vonni. I'm the director here at the school.
Awesome. So I'm really looking forward to this tour. You want to show us?
You bet. All right, let's go ahead and start.
Okay.
Studio A, you can see when I say that used to be a train depot, what I meant here, this was one of the main buildings of the depot, and here, if you look over here, Robin, you'll see the double doors. They're very old-fashioned, and that looks very train depot-ish.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, I just expect George Carlin to walk in.
This is primarily used for our printmaking studio. Are you familiar with printmaking?
Oh my gosh, I was married to a plate maker, a newspaper man.
There you go.
So okay. Yes, I am.
So we always say that one of the founding fathers of printmaking was in fact Rembrandt, and he was. And so this studio is focused on printmaking. Why? Because we'll go into the next room, and that's where all of our presses are. We have a plate maker here. We have all of our brayers, our ink. Now's a good time to mention that we are a non-toxic facility, so even our ink is water-based. We use
Oh, that's wonderful.
We use Akua brand, which is a Japanese ink, and it is a very high-quality ink for our students. And
so professional.
It is. It's very professional equipment. Phil Burns, we are very, very fortunate to have all of this generous gift of these lovely books and literature here with us, and they are of course available for all of our students and our guests and our teachers, instructors, artists to check them in and check them out as they like.
Awesome.
All right.
So all the resources.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a cutter. It's a glass cutter as well as a matte board cutter. It's mounted here and it's multi-purposed. A lot of the equipment that we have here uses different mediums. It's not exclusive to printmaking. Huge sheets of glass are cut here for our glass students. We do warm glass, and warm glass is not the kind where you blow, that's hot glass. Warm glass is where you take huge sheets of colored glass and they are cut down and then etched even finer into smaller pieces, layered, and then they are put in kilns, not ceramics kilns, they're in glass kilns, and essentially an oven, and it melts the glass, and on the form you can create plates, bowls, ornaments, all kinds of things.
So that sounds like a lot. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's one of our most popular mediums here. We have about 5 or 6 glass artists. We do stained glass as well, but the glass cutters use this as well as our matte board for the printmaking. This, for example, is what we call a mod plate. This is an example of the warm glass. These were pieces of glass that were put in a form, put in the kiln, and when it is melted, it turns into this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, right?
Yes.
So this is where our printmaking presses are located for the studio, which is why this is primarily used for printmaking. You actually press ink into it, then you layer a paper, usually it's moistened like a watercolor paper, so that now you have the ink imaged and then you have the paper, and you line it up here and it goes through and it presses the ink onto it. And then you'll get something like this, and if you wanted to pan around, there's some images here, some samples of some different printmaking art. You can do it several times for different effects, different colors for ink. This is an example of printmaking done by our department head for printmaking, Dixon Fish. This is a watercolor. It's done by Buffy Kaufman. She's one of our watercolor artists.
Beautiful.
This is another mixed media. This is water media, so I think she's got primarily watercolors, but there may also be some acrylics in that. Helen Schaefer Garcia is an amazing artist. She teaches watercolor, drawing, painting, ceramics. There's a one-person powerhouse.
Renaissance woman.
Go down here into the ceramics area, the outdoor area, and then we'll circle back. You can see there's a difference between the glass kiln and the ceramics kiln.
Okay.
And as we're coming around here, this is where...
Oh, here's where there's the magic happening.
That's right. Well, this is where a lot of the pieces are in post-production, and kind of the process of it, depending on the kind of clay the students are using. And those are the kids, and you can see the different
the children are doing all kinds of fun stuff.
It's amazing.
Oh, look at that fish.
Our kids' class is called Mudslingers.
Oh, so the little mudslingers. I love it.
Because essentially, that's what they are.
That is great. That's the best word you could call them.
Yep, and clay is, of course, an earthen material, so it is completely green. We do not reuse clay for COVID sanitation protocol.
Now, normally, would you?
Yes.
So normally you would reuse the clay, but now
we would.
You're not because you're keeping
correct.
safe. Yes.
We don't want the virus to, or any germs to be transmitted, and
Right.
so any vehicle like that is disposed of. So these are our 3 kilns in ceramics. Are you familiar, Robin, with the different ceramics? Okay, these are cone 6 kilns. Okay, which is the most. I would say the majority of the projects that students make, beginning the Mudslingers, those are primarily done in cone 6.
Okay.
It's a lower temperature, more of an average temperature. This big beast here is, it's been around a very long time. It's a cone 10. So it's a much, much higher firing, and is used for more specialized kinds of clays and glazes. And we're very fortunate. We're one of the very few ceramic studios in San Diego that offers both cone 6, cone 10, and over here to my right is what we call raku. And if you're familiar, sorry, we're still picking up from the storm.
That's okay. I know we have to mention we have a big windstorm here, and it's just starting to mellow out a little bit.
This is another cone 10, but over here, Robin, if you keep walking over here, this is a cone 10. I'm sorry, this is a raku kiln. And a raku, are you familiar with that process?
I keep thinking I know, but I don't know. What is that?
It's actually very cool. The students will come out, and you see a lot of these benches here, and they watch as the instructor will many times demonstrate that raku is a firing process.
Oh.
So you have newsprint, and we have barrels. Here we go, barrels of newsprint, and they're mostly singed. See? And what happens is when the kiln gets fired up, they put the paper in it with the pottery, and when the paper catches on fire, it throws onto the pottery these amazing textured colors and images and spatterings that only can be done in a raku kiln. All the art that you see here that is for sale is done by all of our instructors. They have
Very
amazing
professional
gifts.
quality.
Oh yes, most of them are have their own shops, either standalone brick and mortar, Etsy. They sell their work online. But this is also a good way to see the kinds of classes that we hold as well.
What a great space.
It is. It's a super space, and the cool thing about the whole school is that not only do we have windows on both sides
That is
for
a nice
complete
one.
airflow, but we have doors opening.
Oh, the window's all open.
All of the windows open.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely. The lighting in here, depending on the day, seems like it's always good. Even with the shades down, you're still going to get great lighting. This is the biggest studio that we have. We offer watercolor, acrylic, painting. We do the glass workshops in here now because of COVID. This is Karen. Karen is one of our front desk coordinators.
Hi, Karen.
And just to show you, we are very serious about COVID, and This plexiglass was installed just after we reopened, or before we reopened. When COVID hit us, we take temperatures of everyone coming in. Masks are required, and we have a very strict sanitization process that we go through every 2 hours. And it's on a schedule, and we sanitize all common areas, and the studios are sanitized before and after each student. We are now in the purple tiers, so all of our studios are at 25% capacity, and everybody has been great. The students have not had a problem with it. They enjoy and love being here for the experience, so they have embraced it, and we are so fortunate to be open and have stayed open without any issues or outbreaks since the beginning of July. And here we are in December, so knock on wood, we're going to stay open and continue on because of these great policies that we have. So
that is really good to know. That will really reassure the public so that they know that your students are being kept safe, so when they go back out into the world,
That's
they're not spreading it. Thank you.
And this includes children. We have children's classes ages 5 to 6, all the way up to seniors, and we provide classes in all mediums for those, the wide range, and even the kids are so good. They stay socially distanced, 6 feet apart, which is of course what we encourage, even in conversation like we are now, as well as in the classrooms. Every one of them keeps their mask on, so it's been great. It's been